Hi there and welcome. It's Tracy at stampinwithtracy.com, and today we're going to make this cute little box. You see it fits in the palm of my hand, and it will hold 4 of these Ghirardelli mini chocolates. Now I bought these in an assortment pack, but you want to be sure that you're getting the bite size, and the 4 will fit in there really nicely. I used our Night Before Christmas Designer Series paper, and this is our metallic edge ribbon. It comes in silver and gold, and I have gold on this with Very Vanilla cardstock, and then I embossed the sentiment. And I used the stamp set, Itty Bitty Christmas. This is a great set filled with all kinds of different things, and I'm using Christmas cheer. Let me show you a few more designs in this pack of paper. I also used this one, and again, all the same vanilla and the metallic edge with the gold. And here's another one, little Christmas trees, and this one has the stockings. And then with this one, this is also the same pack of paper, but I used Whisper White with this one. So I have Whisper White paper and the Whisper White metallic edge ribbon, the little candy canes. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started. We're going to make this one. And you're going to need a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock. Oh, and I did want to tell you that all the bottoms of the boxes I used cherry cobbler. So cherry cobbler, this measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and we're going to score it 1 1/2 on all 4 sides. This is the top of the box, and it's 3 3/4 by 5 inch. And we're going to score it at 1 1/4 on all 4 sides. Now with the bottom of the box, you want, after you've cut your paper, you need to cut a smidge off of 2 connecting sides. If you don't do that, you won't be able to get the top on. And to show you, this is how much I cut. So you're not cutting much. Now if you cut a little more, then your lid is not going to be as secure, but we are using ribbon, so it'll be fine. And then we're using a Very Vanilla cardstock for our sentiment here. So let's start with our cherry cobbler. And as I said, we're going to score this at 1 1/2 on all 4 sides. All right. 1 1/2. You're also going to need a pair of paper snips or scissors. I love our paper snips. They're really sharp. They're an awesome tool to have. All right, let's go ahead and score this one. This is going to be scored at 1 1/4 on all 4 sides. And I'm going to use this side. Excuse me. 1 1/4. And then we're going to cut the top and the bottom exactly the same. Once you've made 1 or 2 of these, you can get through and make a lot of them, because it's just the same thing over and over again. All right, so when we look at this, we've got lines going down here. We have 4, we have our squares here, and then we've got 2 long rectangles here. We're going to cut on this shorter side, okay? And we're going to cut from the bottom here up to that score line. So we'll cut it here and here. And then I'm going to snip just a little piece like this. This just helps the box to not to have as much bulk on the box. And you can see I'm not measuring, I'm just cutting away. Now we're going to turn it, do it on the other side. And then we're going to cut the bottom of the box exactly the same way. All right, we're going to take that bone folder and get nice creases. And then we'll put this aside and do the bottom of the box. All right, let's do the same thing here. And then snip that little wedge out of both sides. This would be a great project sitting while you're watching television. My husband and I like to watch our shows at night, and working on something like this is really easy because I don't have to focus too much on this, and it's kind of, you just do it. I like folding laundry. All right, now what we're going to do is, this is the inside of my box, so I want my outside both here, and I'm going to take some tear and tape and put it on all four sides. And I'm going to put it close to the score line here. It's a little bit longer, and you can be real precise and put this on like this, and then cut it at the edge. I like to just guess. And if you end up too much when you take the liner off, then you just put that adhesive back on itself. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish doing this, and then I will be back. I'll do it to the top and the bottom. I realized that I forgot to do something, and it doesn't make that big of a difference, but it might. So what I normally do, and darn it if I forgot to do this, I like to cut these, so I'm wasting my tape. I cut them about in half, because you're going to bring this up, the sides up, and it just gives you a little bit less bulk. Now, sometimes, as you saw, I made 5 of these, and a couple of them I forgot to cut like this, and they were fine, but one, the paper was just a little too long and it was hitting the sides here. So I'm just going to go ahead and just do this, and I'll put some tape on. I'll leave the top, and I think it'll be fine. So I'll be back in just a minute. All right, I'm back. I don't like to always edit out my mistakes, because when you're crafting, mistakes happen. So I'll leave them in. So let's go ahead and take these off. And when you do the first side here, you don't have a problem with what to do with the other side. You'll see when I do the other end. So you're just going to you're going to bring that up and make sure it's nice and square there, and then take that and tuck it in. And then you can take your finger, your bone folder, and just kind of get that nice there. So on this side, we're going to take both of these off, but you have to be careful that you don't, it's going to be very tacky, so you want to keep it out of the way. So I'll show you. All right, so I'm going to put this one down and kind of hold it with my finger, and then bring this side up, and then go ahead and now take this one. And there's the bottom of our box. Now this time I'm going to put some mint ones in. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. There, see? I bet you didn't think that was going to work, did you? All right, we'll go ahead and put the top together. It's always the moment of truth when you put the top on. You know, if you cut enough of that little smidge off of the 2 connecting sides. Bring that up. And that one. Okay, so here's what happened. See, I did not trim these, so you can see that piece there. So you could just go and cut that off. If you forget, like I do, to cut that piece. But it is not the end of the world. All right, and then we'll do these. All right, we'll keep that one down while we bring this one up. I'm probably going to have to trim that one. Yep. When I'm using sticky adhesive, I keep some ribbon on it so I don't gum up my other ones. And so I'm just going to trim that. And then we'll bring this one over. And then here we go. Moment of truth. I'd rather it was a little tight than super loose. And this one's going to be a little tighter, but that's fine. Oh, okay, there we go. Now we're going to put our ribbon on it, and I'm using the gold metallic. And this is about 13 inches. Usually when I'm making something like this, I keep it on the roll so I don't get as much, if I don't get more than I need. But I'd already cut it for, just to make it a little bit faster here. Tie that. I love this paper, this ribbon, and I love the paper. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my big scissors. We don't sell these anymore, but wow, these are really nice. If you were lucky to get a pair when we sold them. All right, there we go. Now we're going to do our sentiment. And we are going to bring in our very vanilla. I'm going to prepare it with the embossing buddy. It really does make a difference. And then we're going to take some Versamark ink and stamp our sentiment. And then we're using gold embossing powder. I like to keep mine in a container and then I label it, so I know which one it is. Let's see, where did I put that? There. And then sometimes I'll use the spoon, and sometimes I just like to go like this. And then hit it a few times. Make sure you get all those stray pieces off. Looks good. And then I'm going to heat up my heat tool about 10 seconds before I use it so that it won't warp my paper. So we'll warm it up. We'll just clean up a little bit here. Now while it's warming up, you can have several options to cut this out. You could use our classic label punch or our stitched rectangles, and I used this one right here, and I'll show you that in a minute. So we're going to go ahead and melt this. Sometimes if you think it's warping, you can do it on the other side too. Oh, there it is. I like to keep it at an angle and I can see. And there it's all done. And you can see it did warp just a little bit, and imagine if you didn't warm it up. So let me show you. I went ahead and cut one out using these stitched rectangles, and it looks like this. It's kind of nice to see the stitching, and that's what I did on this one. And I just cut off a little bit. So I purposely cut these out so that I had more over here, because I knew that I was going to tuck this part under. So you could go like that, put a glue dot, and then just tuck it under like that. Another option that you can do is use the classic label punch and punch this out. Come on. And again, I'm going to do it towards the one end. And then you can leave it. You can leave it like that. Oh, there it is. You can leave it like this with that end like this, or you could cut the end off and then put it under there. So I'll go ahead and put a glue dot on it. I'm just going to leave it and just tuck it there, and we're done. Who wouldn't love to get that? I know I would. So here they all are. Again, this is Night Before Christmas Designer Series paper, and then the mini little Ghirardelli chocolates. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great day. Bye-bye.